So what I'm going to talk about today is something that people don't really pay that much attention to, well, except maybe guys, and that's sports. And I want to start by talking about what a sport really is. Now, Webster's dictionary defines a sport as an athletic activity requiring skill or physical prowess, and often of a competitive nature. So, sports that includes everything from soccer, football, and even that weird stuff like cup stacking and, the ultimate frisbee, everything really. And what people don't realize is the effects that sports have on our society, and not only in the United States, but also around the world. But let's first talk about the civil rights movement. If I asked you to name a good African American that played baseball, most of you guys would probably say Jackie Robinson. And what people don't realize is that Jackie Robinson joined the MLB before the civil rights movement. Jackie Robinson was born on January 31st, 1919, and he was really known for breaking down the color barrier in Major League Baseball. He was the first African American baseball player, and Robinson was not only an amazing player, but was also known as an activist for social change. He really just revolutionized the country in the sense that no one really expected a black person to come and be as good as he was. When he was playing with the Dodgers, he really just broke the barrier because people really tried to hate him, but how do you hate a guy that is taking your team so far and is doing such an amazing job? And it really gave white people a chance to look back and say, wow, they're not that bad. They know how to play baseball. Just like, damn, he's a damn good baseball player. And I think that's just really important. Was Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente was a Puerto Rican baseball player that played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Roberto Clemente was known for his amazing skills in baseball and also his ethnic pride. He was a proud Puerto Rican. He came to America not knowing any English, only knowing how to play the game of baseball, and he did an amazing job at it. He didn't get a lot of support from his teammates because he was a minority, but he still took that leap, and he knew it was going to be hard when he went, and he just did it. And then he ended up being the first Latino American baseball player to be inducted into the MLB Hall of Fame, which is now baseball wasn't the only sport that was influential in the civil rights movement. Also, football was important. Now, the first two African American football players were Bobby Marshall and Fritz Pollard, who came into the NFL and really just changed it. Fritz Pollard, in particular, was not only one of the first black players, he was also the first black coach in the NFL. And because of his achievements, he was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2005. It was 60 years later until the NFL had another black coach. And there are a couple black coaches in the NFL today, but he really changed football, and he made an opportunity for black coaches to come up and black players to not be so scared. And when people watch sports, especially guys, we root for a team, and at first we may not like the decision that the organization makes, but when it comes down to it, if the players out there scoring their runs or they're bringing home the touchdowns, you really can't get mad at that. And so what people fail to realize is the impact sports have on our society. And it's not often you see like a black hockey player, but look at the Flyers. We have Simmons, who is an amazing player, and he's just one of many blacks that are actually in hockey, and it's really breaking down the color barrier in all sports. Not today, all phases of sports have really changed. I know recently there was Jeremy Lin, who was a Harvard graduate who came to play in the NBA, and it doesn't. First of all, you're coming from Harvard, so anybody that goes to Harvard, really, you would think, oh, they shouldn't be playing in the NBA. And then on top of that, Jeremy Lin was Asian, and people don't really associate Asians with playing basketball, but it's actually a growing population that's playing it. And Jeremy Lin was born in Palo Alto, California in 1988, and he was of Taiwanese descent. But despite whatever anybody thought of him, he became a very prominent player. He played for the Knicks, and he had the most sold jersey. He had one of the most sold jerseys in the NBA due to the large Asian population that stood behind him and really gave him a lot of support. In addition to sports changing the United States, sports have really also changed the world as a whole. For those who don't know, every 4 years, a little tournament that every country wants to be part of. And no, I'm not talking about the Olympics. That's for little girls. I'm talking about the World Cup. Now, the World Cup is a soccer tournament in which the best 32 international teams bring their 23 best players and fight for the most wanted trophy in the world. This Wednesday is actually the start of the 20th World Cup. Now, during World War II, Hitler realized the importance of the World Cup and in his quest for world domination, and after the conquering of Austria, he personally put together a team of the best players and to try and win the famed cup. Any player that refused to play for Germany would mysteriously end up dead a couple days later. Hitler thought that if he won the World Cup, it would make Germany the best country in every way possible. But Germany didn't really advance. The victor of that World Cup was Italy. Now, after losing, Hitler decided, he's like, oh, well, I'm just going to go take the World Cup. So he went and invaded multiple places in Italy where the World Cup was known to be, at certain museums, but it turned out every time he got somewhere, it'd be gone. And Germany not winning the World Cup showed that they really weren't as powerful as everyone thought. Everyone was kind of scared of them, but they're like, if we beat them in soccer, we can beat them as a country, as a whole. And soccer is really big in the sense that you see all these different teams play in the World Cup, and it reflects their society. Germany plays, even today, very strict, very hardball, and you see different countries that are more passing, more one-on-one, and if you have a strict government, you're going to have a really strict team. And if you have a very chill atmosphere and stuff, you see it in the team, and it's really weird, but it's something that's really interesting to watch and pay attention to. So all these countries saw that Germany wasn't that big, and a lot of people believe that helped all the other countries in the war because it really gave them a sense of momentum. Now, these are just a couple of ways that you can see the impact of sports on society. But overall, what you should really remember is that sports aren't just games. You don't just do it for fun. A lot of them have meanings behind them. And it can really just show you the world in a different way. So next time you see some kids playing soccer or playing football or ultimate frisbee or whatever, it's not just a game that kids play. At some point it becomes more than a game, and that's just amazing to me, and I think we should all take note of it.